Okay, guys, welcome back to Life Transitions. And today the topic is astrology and horoscopes. And last week we taught about, what did we teach about a few weeks ago? Taught about, first we taught about overview, so mostly about yoga. And Matthew had the next topic.
Yeah, we did yoga and we did the law of attraction, which we went in depth about. And today we're going to do astrology, or a lot of people like to say zodiac.
Yeah, all those things fall under New Age beliefs. So first, I'd like to begin talking about the definition of what astrology is. And by definition, it's a about human affairs and terrestrial events by studying movements and relative positions of celestial objects. So basically, that's just fortune telling based upon the formation of stars and the moon and other planets and stuff. Which is another form of divination. So, which is something that the Bible warns explicitly against. Exactly. And an interesting fact about that, the people who created astrology was the Babylonians. All right. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But where was I? Oh yeah, Babylonians. The people who created was Babylonians, and those are the same people that tried to build a tower to reach God, but they ultimately failed. And also the Hebrew definition for astrology is deadening the heavens, and you know that's something you can't do unless you're like appointed by God to do so. So trying to do that without him is like a straight up against everything that he stands for.
So zodiac is basically what it sounds like is it's the same way as law of attraction, meaning that they're relying on things other than God to determine their future or their personality or what they believe or what they think is going to happen like in the future. So law of attraction is basing that stuff on the universe, which when you think about the universe itself, when you just think about universe, you think about planets, all that stuff. You think about galaxies. So zodiac is basically using the stars and the planets.
As their god. It's just a replacement, placebo of what God really is. Right. So if there's anybody out there who doesn't know like what a zodiac sign is, or how they work, basically, whatever day and month you were born in of the year, you're assigned like a zodiac symbol, and each symbol has certain characteristics that describe like your personality, or um, some parts of your mental, like your habits. And usually people, I guess, they relate to it because most of the things that are listed are pretty common things. Like for one sign, it might be, oh, you're indecisive. Another sign, it might be something about you easily to anger. And all of these can go with any person in the world. It's very broad, very broad. It's not really uh, anything. It's not like psychic reading or anything. It's more like if you fit this mold, then that's basically your sign. So yeah, so basically it's another thing to that people put they over emphasizing they over believe in something outside of God. So that's basically what a zodiac sign is. I'm pretty sure everybody heard of it, but I just thought I'd elaborate on it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, once they start reading these characteristics of the sign, they actually start like living that. Like they start, if it say they're easily angered, they're like, oh, it's just because I'm a Taurus or a Scorpio or whatever.
Yeah, and it's so huge nowadays because just for the simple fact that literally everybody that I meet, usually like a 90% chance they ask me what my sign is. That's like the first thing they ask me. They don't even ask me about my ethnic background, and it's just what's your sign? Like that's a prominent subject right now. And yeah, a lot of people just get sucked up into it and they start getting into horoscopes, which is basically it's a reading, a daily or monthly reading based on your horoscope sign, and it's supposedly supposed to tell you, like, give you some insight into the future, your future specifically based on your sign.
Right.
So,
And I looked it up. It was like 30% of Americans are into horoscopes.
yeah.
And that's definitely believable because like everybody, all the young people I know, they all into it.
I think it's more than 30%.
Yeah, I think 30% is a little too low.
If I looked up youth, it would probably be way, way, way higher. It would probably be up in like the 90s or something.
Yeah, that was a statistic probably for specifically only horoscopes, but
Yeah,
I know a lot of people, like I haven't met anybody yet who doesn't know what a zodiac or what sign they are technically.
yeah.
It's like something that's pretty common nowadays for some reason.
And another crazy thing about zodiac signs is all these signs have a god appointed to them. Every single one of them is like ancient, like Greek. You know what Greek mythology is? One of them might be the sign of Aries, you know, the son of Zeus or whatever. And all these signs have gods appointed to them. And it's kind of like once you really start believing you're that sign, it's like you have that false god appointed to you as well. And it's kind of like just stuck around you.
Yeah, and the bad thing about the thing that stands out to me about Zodiac, it's not so much as what you start believing, it's what other people start believing based on your sign. Like people would judge you based on your sign.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes when people ask me, I don't even really tell people because they'll start making assumptions about you. They'll start doing stuff that think it will bother you. They'll start, behaving a certain way around you, thinking that because you're a Taurus or a Scorpion or whatever, those things are gonna work. But what's funny is for the people that don't believe in that, when you start bringing all that stuff up, thinking it's gonna affect them, it really doesn't. The people that don't believe in zodiac are looking at the people that do, and that do believe in it, and it's like y'all really can't be making life decisions based on that. It's too, to me, it's like too much of a risk.
Yeah, a lot of people won't date somebody simply because of their zodiac sign or when they were born.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they believe in God or not. It's if they're this specific sign, they won't have anything to do with you. Like they will try their hardest not to associate with you, which to me is like mind blowing because you don't even know a person yet. They tell you their zodiac sign, which is like already a false belief.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you their false belief zodiac sign, and then based on that, you judge them, and then you decide not to associate with them, no matter if they're a good person or no matter if you like their personality or anything. Once you find out their zodiac sign, it's just like
People think they got you figured out.
Basically. Yeah, they already know you. And when we say astrology, we're not talking about astronomy. Astronomy is just it's good. It's a study of the stars and the moon and stuff. And actually, it was used in the Bible, to find Jesus and he used it for Abraham to for him to remember his promise to him, which is all good things. But astrology is like it's trying to tell the future. That's all it is.
Right, and a good example is when God created the stars. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 14 through 19, he says, "And God said, Let there be light in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. Let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made two great lights. Pretty sure we all know two great lights were uh, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night.
Mm-hmm.
And he made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So this verse is just basically explaining why God created the stars, the moon, the sun, and clearly it says He created them to be signs for a season. So for He created them to help us tell the difference between seasons, and for us to keep track of time, and also to light the earth. So it doesn't say anything about him giving us the stars and the moon in order for us to go and then make zodiac signs to judge people, and yeah, to basically
Worship them.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Basically worship him. It says nothing about that.
And yeah, I have another verse that kind of like reinforces all that. It comes from Deuteronomy 4, verse 19. And it says, Lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all those hosts of heaven, should be driven in to worship them and serve them, which Lord thy God have divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. So he's just saying, don't worship the stars and the moon. It's that simple. And like whatever God has, it's like whenever he has a good thing, the world and Satan has it's like a off brand version of it every time. So
Every single time. True.
So like yeah, this is another point on.
And one thing I want to talk about though, specifically when it comes to zodiac signs, a lot of people just in general, like it doesn't matter if they're Christian, non-Christian, they participate in it. I know I was one of those people. They just participate in oh, what's your zodiac? So all right, I remember when I first found out about zodiac signs, I looked up my sign, and I was doing a lot of research on it. Like it drew me in, I guess because I wanted to learn more about myself and other people. I guess that's one of the big tricks that Satan is still pulling on us is since the garden is tree of knowledge, everybody wants more knowledge and earthly knowledge or whatnot, instead of just trusting in God. But I wanted to find out more about myself and more about other people, and since I found out about the zodiac sign, I thought that would be a good way to do that. Then I got wrapped up in like, what sign are you, and all this other irrelevant stuff and topics. But yeah, a lot of people in church get wrapped up in it too, and it's just important for us to give awareness to the fact of where it came from, because a lot of these stuff that we're in today nowadays, they come from pagan beliefs and practices. So we just have to be more aware and spread the awareness that a lot of these new age beliefs are, totally against what we as Christians should be standing for.
Right, and when you think about it, zodiac is literally contradicting everything else that you know about what God says about us. For example, if all Scorpios act a certain way, that means you're basically all the same. If all Scorpios literally have the same personality, how are they different from each other? They might look different, but if you think they all act the same because they're a Scorpio, they literally all have the same personality. And when you think about stuff like that, you'll realize how untrue a lot of this stuff is. And another way to figure out a lot of it is untrue, you might read certain personality traits from a different sign that's not yours.
Yeah.
And it might fit you more than the sign you're supposed to be. So when you actually research it, you don't even have to do much research. You can just look at it and be like, that's not me. But if you want to believe in zodiac, you're gonna ignore the red flags and you're just gonna keep on going deeper into it.
Yeah,
It's really
like
what you want to believe.
you can look at your zodiac sign and then like say, because I used to look at the horoscope things too, but after a while I just naturally just stopped looking at it because something in my spirit just told me like this is just lies. Like it just didn't feel right. So I would look at it and then it would say something about myself. I'm like, that's not really true, but I
Yeah.
can
Right.
see how they would like think that or whatever. So I would just try to justify it and try to, like Matthew said, try to fit the mold.
Right.
And then with that comes with a lot of like you being something that you're not or trying to be someone that you're not. And yeah, it's a whole rabbit hole of things. Once you get wrapped up in zodiac, then
Yeah, you get into other
that's like
stuff. Like,
a
That's the gateway. That's
Yeah,
I think that's the start of
yeah,
all the new thought or new age beliefs is zodiac, because that's zodiac's at a level where like kids know about it. Like
hmm
that's everywhere.
it
Everywhere you
seems
go.
really innocent
like
at first.
everything else, they try to make it seem harmless. They have it. I remember back in the well, I don't remember. I wasn't alive back then, but I know back in like the 30s and 40s, they used to put them in the back of newspapers. They used to put zodiac signs and horoscopes in the back of newspapers and stuff. So this is something that's been around, and it was never looked down upon. It was just like I don't know, part
I
of.
think people thought it was fun, I guess. A
People
lot of
still think it's
people,
fun. I thought it was fun.
yeah, it just, I don't know, it's exciting for when you first learn about it, I guess it's exciting. But when you start reading into it, you're either going to believe it or you're not. Like it's really simple. If you want to believe in it, you're going to ignore the things that you shouldn't be ignoring, trying to fit the mold, or you're going to say, this is not true. I'm just having fun.
Right.
So it's really up to you and what you want to believe in.
Exactly. And I like to go back to the Babylonians, and it was actually a story about King Nebuchadnezzar, and there he had a dream, and when he had this dream, he tried to summon astrologers and witches and other people who really couldn't do the job, and they couldn't do it. So, but the only person that could interpret his dream was Daniel, and he was somebody who was appointed by God to do so, to interpret things. I don't know if he was a prophet or not, but he was the only one that could because he was actually a believer in God.
All right. So they even brought astrologers uh, to the palace. They even brought astrologers to the palace to interpret the dream, and they couldn't. So
Yeah, that's just another reinforcement of why it just won't work. It's not real unless you want it to be, if that makes sense.
Right.
And I see y'all in the chat. Hey Veronica.
hey, Veronica.
Hey Clayton. Hey Stella. Deborah. Miss Deborah.
Oh, Miss Deborah.
I see y'all in there.
Hey, Miss Deborah. Hey, Minnie. Oh, you going too fast. What was it? Hey, Stella. Hey, Clayton. Who else up there? You guys are really sharing good point scriptures and information. I can tell you studied this out. Thank you.
Thank
We
you, thank you.
definitely did try to study this topic out. Deborah said even in the 60s. Yeah, I know. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Now, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I don't see Zodiac. I don't see it going away because it seems more and more people are believing in it. And a lot of the time, I don't know why this is, but I feel like it's mostly women or female that do it the most. And I think they know, like what we just talked about was the surface. I think it goes even deeper. It's some stuff I still don't know about zodiac. It gets into like
Yeah, it's like
planets.
sun sign, moon sign. Somebody had asked me that one time. And
Yeah, it's like other types, not just one.
they tried to get the exact time of my birth. And I don't even know that. I don't know the exact time of my birth.
Yeah.
It was very weird, and I don't know where they are right
Yeah,
now.
you gotta be careful about giving people the exact time of birth too, because I found out like there are witches, actual
Right.
witches, y'all, who can take the time of your birth and I don't know, I guess put some type of like hex on it or
Yeah.
time of birth. I guess is like a deeper social security number basically. The time of birth is very very important to witches.
Right. And another reason not to do that, somebody had asked me that one time, and I remember in my back of my head, I was like, I'm not supposed to tell nobody that. And the reason why is because when someone knows your regular zodiac sign or the sun sign,
Mm-hmm.
that's like the broad spectrum. Then you have the other ones.
Yeah, Venus. They try to like.
Yeah, the Venus sign, your Mars sign, all that. Once somebody knows all of those, it's basically like it's not factual. They don't really know you, but based on those signs, they think they know the full you.
Yeah.
And someone can completely take advantage of you if they have information on all three of those signs. They'll use whatever those signs says. They'll think it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's their reality. You might just be minding your business, but they're over there thinking, "Oh, he finna do this. Oh, I bet you if I do this to him, he gonna act like this." Whole time you just minding your business.
Yeah.
So you really gotta be careful. Even if you don't believe in it, you really gotta be careful on telling people certain things because you don't know what other people are getting into.
I think we shouldn't even like if someone asks me about my zodiac sign nowadays, I'm just like I don't believe in that.
Yeah. Same.
Right. I just
But
tell
if you
people,
tell somebody like if they ask you your zodiac sign, then you tell them whatever sign you were or are.
Yeah, even if you lie, it's still gonna have the same effect. I feel like.
Yeah,
Right,
because
right.
you're still participating in like the whole uh exchange of of information or whatever. So you're still playing the game, so to speak, if you tell them your zodiac
Right.
sign. So
And that's what a lot of people that believe in it. It's funny if you do that to somebody because they'll think you can tell them you're a Taurus or whatever. They'll say all these things, and you can come back and be like, "Actually, I'm a Capricorn." So you just believe in the wrong stuff the whole time.
Been selling yourself.
and then they'll try to justify it. Oh yeah, I knew you was a Capricorn.
Right.
Like, I seen this and this
And they can be like, "Actually,
I'm a Taurus.
I'm a Leo." Oh, you would? And I knew he was a Leo. Leo would lie like that. It would do something like that. And, you know, you just keep on going.
Yeah.
And it just shows you that it's not really. There's not any.
There's no end to that. Like
Yeah.
it just like yoga and law of attraction, all of these new age topics we've been discussing. There's no end. You're always gonna want more information. There's always more to learn about it. There's always some new book about it. As opposed to Jesus and believing in God, that's all we need. All we need to know is that He created us. He loves us, and if we accept Jesus as our Lord and Savior, then we have everlasting life.
Exactly.
We don't need to know about the details. That's just it's straightforward. But
Right.
with astrology, you gotta know what sign you are. You gotta know what time you was born. You gotta know like the details, the characteristics of the zodiac sign, which signs you're compatible with, and like you gotta look at horoscopes if you get deep into it, and it's just a never ending cycle.
Yeah, and the thing about all these new age beliefs is they all have one center like thing to it, and that's worship of self in the end. In the end of the day, you're gonna be worshiping yourself. You're gonna be worshiping something that's not God at the end. With
Right.
astrology, it's the stars. With yoga, is Buddhist gods. With zodiac signs, is zodiac gods, and it's just a never-ending cycle of wrong, basically.
Yeah, and Miss Stella said, "Just say I'm a child of God. That's my sign.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Keep it short and sweet."
yeah. Miss Veronica said the same thing. You can say I'm a child of God. Jesus is my sign of all things past, present, and things to come. Exactly.
Sonya said, "Pretty similar to a scam artist." Yeah, con artists out here.
So
Jerry,
Yeah.
because he let God use. Thanks, Jerry.
thank you,
Appreciate
thank
that
you.
uplifting words, encouragement.
So yeah, all these new age practices are gonna keep reverting back to God at the end. Like you need to, if you want to know anything about yourself, you have to know who you are in God, what God says about you.
You gotta seek His word as well. You gotta actually want it in order to obtain it.
Right. You gotta stop looking to other sources, like zodiac signs or, you know, any of these new age beliefs is just leading you down the wrong direction. And like we said before, there's no end to it. So you can be wandering around for years before you realize that you've been going the wrong direction.
Yeah,
And you got to turn back and you got to go back the wrong direction just to get back on the right direction, if that makes sense. So,
yeah. And I really wonder how people believe in this type of stuff, and they can't even believe that Jesus was real. There's
yeah,
actual proof of that, and they over here believing about just because the star was here in this day, then I'm this type of way.
yeah, they'll believe.
Anything except God. And it's very weird, to say the least. Very, very weird. Um, so that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to add.
I did have, let me see if I have some more scriptures.
You said he has some more scriptures.
Uh,
Um,
let's see. Oh yeah, I had the scripture of 2 Kings 17:16, and they left all the commandments of the Lord their God and made them molten images, even two calves, and made a grove and worshipped all the host of heaven and served Baal. So uh, this was this was back when I forget the name. Forgive me, I forget the name of the king. But basically, the king was serving God for a long time. Then he married a wife who all her life she was serving pagan gods. So eventually it rubbed off on him, and he had the whole town or kingdom worshiping these false gods, and they worship all the hosts of heaven. Now, doing some research, the host of heaven was well in this context was another name for the sun, the moon, and the planets. So back when he turned his back from God, they started making images, making false idols. They started doing astrology, which is what worship all the hosts of heaven means, and they served Baal. So to me, it sounds like it was like a step by step process. Like I'm pretty sure they didn't just one day they just went ham and started doing all
yeah,
this. I'm pretty sure it started off
it's
as
something that seemed
zodiac
innocent.
signs or
Yeah,
something, and then they started making images and statues, and then they just went all out, started sacrificing people. That's what I feel like it was. So that just goes to show you that even something as small as a zodiac sign, is some people think that it's really small. Actually, is it can affect your spirit tremendously. But for some people, even something as small as a zodiac sign can get you off the path and have you doing things that you never thought you would do. As in the case of the king, that
Right.
Sir, I gotta look up his name.
Oh,
I forgot his name.
He said Ahab and Jezebel.
Yeah,
That's who it
Ahab
was.
and Jezebel. Yes.
That's exactly who it was.
Yes, Ahab and Jezebel. Yeah, so don't be like Ahab and Jezebel.
Please. But yeah, that kind of relates to
Thank you, Clayton.
current day as well. Like you know somebody who's into zodiac and astrology, and it kind of rubs off on you, and then now you're into it, and then you kind of pass it on to the next person. It's like a little virus or something like that.
Yeah.
I think an easy way to avoid all this is try to learn about God first. If I didn't learn about God before a lot of this other stuff, there's no telling what would happen. Like, I think it's harder for you to believe in something else if you believe in something else before that. Like, it's hard for other people to switch over, say they believe in a certain religion. It's hard for them to switch over because that's what they grew up with. Like, they believed in that 1st. And I luckily, not luckily, prayerfully, I believed in God first. So a lot of these things don't really stick with me. Or if I do get off track, I know I can still come back to God because God's always there.
Exactly. That's the end of the message.
That's the important part of having people around you who believe in God and His scripture, so they can teach us, and then we can continue to spread the message. And like Rico said, we gotta pray, continue to pray for the folks who are lost. That is a fact. We gotta continue to pray for them, and we have to continue to try to get the word out and
Just do our part as Christians. Our what we're supposed to do. Spread the word.
educate them on things that they might not have been aware of. Because a lot of, like I said, a lot of Christians, they're into zodiac signs and they don't see anything wrong with it because nobody ever showed them. They never seen, I guess they never seen the opposite side of the argument to it. And yeah, that's just our job to educate them on it. And like they said, continue to pray for them because some people, we just gotta pray for them. They're not gonna hear us. So
Right.
yeah, it's definitely.
But all right, guys, thank you for coming, and we'll see you.
Yeah. If you got any questions, be sure to leave it in the chat.
We'll get back to it.
Definitely. Yeah, any questions, comments, prayer requests, please leave them in the chat so we can pray for you guys. And don't forget that this Saturday we have Clayton and Stella teaching. They're going to be teaching at 6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m. Eastern time
on Saturday. Be sure to check that out. Very good lesson and very informative. And then that's every Saturday. And we also have Miss Sonia and Miss Veronica. Their talk show is on every second and fourth Sunday of each month at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to check us out, and also we'll leave a link to our website if anybody wants to sign up or learn more about our ministry and support us. So thank you guys for joining us. God bless you all and have a good day.
Thank you.